Okay, so if we go back to what I showed you guys before. So what we have got here, these are different visuals. Here, all different visuals. These are all resources that you guys can make for your residents whenever you want, okay? Because giving them, for a lot of our residents, we do a lot of verbal talking, telling them what to do, and they might not have that level of understanding because of their learning disabilities, learning difficulties, mental health, whatever it is. So if we create visuals, it means there is a kind of permanent reminder for the residents of what you talk to them about. It makes them a lot clearer of what the plan is moving forward, because that will also help decrease the levels of behaviour, because if they know what's expected of them, if they know what you expect of them and the plan, it's a lot more controlled environment. If the environment is more controlled, it means the residents feel safer, and if the residents feel safer and more secure, that is what decreases the different behaviours. So the way to create it, there is a website we've got here called Widgit Online. So Widgit Online, it is, we've got an organisational login for everyone within Magic Life, and I know it's not used as much as it should because I don't think people have really gone through how to use it or the benefits of using it, which is what this is about. So what we need to do, everyone can access it, it's just a website called Widgit Online, okay? I'm in the process of creating a login for every single service. At the moment, Devonshire got, Hale End has got, Chapel has got, I think. They're the only ones that I've started at the moment because I need to obviously spend time with the staff and the managers to go through how we can create those visuals, okay? So once you guys get the login, we go onto the website here, okay? As I said, this is just my login, but every service will have its own login, okay? And then, a lot of the work that I do in terms of helping decrease the behaviours is to try and make the level of understanding and communication better for the residents. I use Widgit a lot, and this is where, obviously, as it's just me, I can't do everyone's visuals at the same time, which is why things take longer, and this is why it'll be good for you guys to start working on this program as well, okay? So if you look on the website, we click here, create from a template, okay? And it comes up with loads of different options. So as we were showing before, the different choice boards, which was here, choice board here with the different choices, okay? That is just created by clicking there, okay? On each individual, you just write what it is they want to choose from. So they are choosing between a banana and an apple, for example. Have that printed out, have that given to the residents. It means they can make a simple choice. We don't have to ask them, oh, do you want this, do you want that? They might not fully understand what we're asking them. Some of them will, of course, some of them might not. So if you have a real picture, if not the symbols of what it is, it can make it a clearer choice for those individuals. If they choose what they want, then they will feel like they're being listened to. The residents will feel like we are hearing them, we want to communicate with them, and they can communicate with us. So, oh, I chose a banana. Brilliant, I got a banana. And even if we know they only like apples, but you give them the choice of banana and apples, and they choose banana, we still give them the banana because it's showing them that they have made a choice of what it is, to give them that level of understanding of the picture of the symbol, so it means it will be clearer for them moving forward. Again, this is not just a one-off thing, this is a very long project and process for all of the residents because some might have used these previously, some might have never have used these. Some it might not be needed, granted, but the majority of individuals with learning disabilities, with autism, with behavioural challenges that aren't related to mental health or whatnot, this would be beneficial for them because a lot of them also have communication needs and difficulties which aren't being met, which is what results in the behaviours coming out, because it means they can't communicate what they actually want. And if they can't communicate and they don't get what they want, behaviours occur. Okay, so it is very simple to create, as I said, a flashcards for the individuals to choose. Again, we can also do more than one choice, so we can do 6 choices, for example, which goes back to this one I've got here. Again, depends on the level of understanding of the individual. You guys know them best. Do they understand 6 choices? Might be too much for them. You guys know that better. So for RE, no more than probably 2 choices, because otherwise that'll be too much stress for him and cause behaviours. So it is about limiting it based on the individual. As I said, you guys know the individuals a lot better than me. I get to know them a bit, but I'll never get to know them as well as you guys do. So this is where we work alongside together to try and get what's best for the individuals. So for example, IG, 6, she would be able to handle. Okay? 2, she'll think that we're making it too simple for her and she would get offended. So it's again, knowing the individuals of what it is, okay? And again, if the symbols that we've got here are too difficult, the real life pictures here are very, very helpful and they can be used moving forward. So in what you do, you literally push button and choose the picture. And this can be real life pictures of what you've uploaded from the internet. So it comes up the symbol version. So for example, if we say, oh no, fish, let's say fish, that will come up, the symbol version. But if their level of understanding is, they wouldn't understand what that is, let's use, because it's a very abstract idea, or let's use chicken and chips as an example, because I know there's quite a few of the guys that do that. If they see that, will they understand that's the chicken that they're eating? Probably not. So then it is taking a picture of the real chicken, which you can get from online searches, because you can do online searches inside, and it goes there. Real pictures of real items, because that is more relevant to some of the residents. I'm not going to generalize because they are all individuals, they are all different. So for example, CK, real life pictures makes more sense. He wouldn't understand the symbols, but he would understand the real life picture, or a picture of his favorite restaurant. Same with a lot of the others. Oh, we're going to go and get chicken and chips from the restaurant. Take a picture of the restaurant or the actual foods, chicken and chips that they eat, okay? And using those to create them to make choices, okay? The other options that we have on here, as well as creating pictures, we have timetables and planners, which again is essential for most of the residents within the entire organisation, because if they don't know what's going to be happening on a daily basis, they'll be confused, they'll be unsure, they won't know what's going on. So we keep it as simple as you're doing 2 activities Monday to Friday. On the Monday, you're going out in the community, and then you are going to the garden. Okay, so it means they know what the plan is moving forward, and these can be edited according to the individual. And so they make choices, you put those on the schedule. And again, we go to the real life pictures. So we type it in the web images section here. There you go, out in the community. I know that's swap those around. And then out in the community. And then garden. Typical for the internet to not be working. Okay, but yes, that is the idea, to make sure there are real life pictures, and this can be used for all of the residents within the entire service, what they know for their day. If they've got their laundry day on the Wednesday, put a picture of the washing machine, you put a picture of laundry. If they are going out to the cinema on a Friday, it's in CK's head, he knows every Friday, but does he know when Friday is? Because he knows it's building up. whereas others might not have that level of understanding, so it's making it clearer for them. So it is about making sure that all of the guys that we support get given the right level of visual support to make them make informed choices, okay? Hopefully if the internet works, I can show a couple more things. Yeah, so again, we talked about breaking down into cooking into instructions, for example. So number one can be getting food out of fridge. And then we can use a picture of the fridge so they know what the first step is. And then we break it down into individual steps. So after they get the food out of the fridge, they then put food in pan. And so then we get a picture of a frying pan. So it makes it very simple and easy to understand for the residents. As I said, it might come across as a bit childish because of the images that we use, but we also need to remember the residents that we're working with, they might not have the level of understanding of us talking to them and telling them what's going on, and that's what causes frustration. Every single behaviour is a form of communication. They are not getting or they want something. They're not getting what they want or they want something that they're unable to get, or it could be other reasons, but yeah. And it's about saying, look, you are making a choice, you know what the next steps are, and therefore you can then make it easier for all of the residents moving forward. Okay?
I have a question.
Done.
One of our residents, DB now, that would not even allow you to come close to her and then run off away. How do you show her something like this?
So what I noticed about DB is if you show her the pictures on the iPad, if you're allowed in her room at that time, but showing her pictures on the iPad, physical pictures on the iPad, it's still a clear image, because if it was just a paper, she would rip it and throw it in the bin, from what I've been made aware of.
Yeah, she will rip it and throw it in the bin. But the iPad, because you're not going to, not all the staff stay in a flat the whole day. And then when you put the picture on the iPad and then it goes off, So I know that definitely she might take it back to YouTube and then continue watching what she's watching, or just leave it there.
So that is about using the iPad for a leisure device and a communication device. You might need to have a separate device. So for example, the tablet that you guys have got care beans on can be used as a communication. Her iPad can be used for leisure, watching her videos and stuff on YouTube. And in terms of her making choices through communication, she's not allowed to touch the tablet with care beans on because she's got her own tablet. So that can be the communication one, and she can still use her own iPad tablet to go on YouTube and whatever she likes to go on. And so it's showing her on that tablet. That question, go on.
No, it's because it's just really difficult, because you want to show her something. You even just call her name alone, she's already running out of the door. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's, again, it comes down to, because DB, she suffers a lot from anxiety and she struggles with people. So the people that she is able to, that are able to spend that time with her, so I know there's 2 or 3 staff that can spend even short periods of time with her, they're the ones that might have to start this process. And then once they start the process and it becomes consistent between those staff members, then the other staff members, if they start using it, she might be more willing to engage with it. But it's, again, comes down to how well and how much you engage with that individual. Some residents respond better to certain staff member, that's the reality. So the ones that they respond best to, they're the ones that can start introducing this process, because they are more likely to trust that individual and be more willing to engage in something that will be new and alien to some of them. And as I said, it's not going to happen straight away. This could take a very, very long time. But if everyone does it and everyone is consistent, and it becomes an expectation that, oh, the staff are going to show me what I'm doing today, she'll be more willing to engage with no matter what the staff is. But again, that's the long-term plan. not the short term, because short term, it takes a lot longer. But we have to start the process to then move forward, if that makes sense. Yeah? It's the same with RE. Yeah.
And the problem is some staffs are not consistent. You have to say, if you allow yourself, oh, let me do this today, the next staff coming the next day doesn't want to stress himself. That affects them as well. And if you are coming maybe 2 days after and you are trying to like show and he's not interested in it,
I think that's what happened with OB training from the staff.
Yeah.
Some staffs would communicate with him not to do it, and then other staffs would just, relax. But now that almost everybody's following it up,
it's different. And again, this is what it comes down to. It's about that consistency. And again, the problem that you will be facing this on a daily basis. I know, because I know there is a big problem with consistency across the entire organisation. There's no question about that. If you guys have concerns, raise it with your project manager. They need to address it straight away. If they don't, raise it with me and I'll raise it with the project manager to make sure it gets done. Because what we need to do is everyone does need to be consistent, because if there isn't that consistency, that causes more confusion, therefore more frustration, and therefore more behaviours. It all comes together, it all adds up. So it's about everyone being on the same page. This is why this training will hopefully be shared with everyone within the organisation as well, to actually get everyone on the same page. And as I said, I'm in the process of getting all of the services with an access to widget, so it can be done. So it can be done consistently, because that's what it comes down to. Okay. And again, they're the main things that you guys would be using widget for. As I said, there's loads of other things on here, like certificates, rewards. So if they're working towards going out for something to eat, going to Alton Towers, I think it was, wasn't it, a couple of weeks ago. So the reward is Alton Towers, and then need to get a tick in all of these things. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If no behaviours are shown for those 3 days, and there's a tick, 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 they get their reward. So it's a very easy way to create visuals, and a lot of the residents, they will respond better to more positive reinforcement rather than negative punitive reinforcement, which I know does happen in some cases, which we're trying to change, we're trying to remove, because that is not person-centered, that's not beneficial for the individual or for anyone. So if we look at getting them to look forward to something, a reward for doing what behaviour that is expected of them, not hurting or whatever it is, not stripping or whatever it is, that is better than saying, oh, if you do this, you're not going to get this. So it's more of a positive way of thinking and mindset for the individuals moving forward. And that's why it's called positive behaviour support. Okay? So as I said, there's loads of other templates on here, but that is something, once I share it with all of your services, you can go through and I can spend some time within the services with you guys and the managers to make sure that everyone was on the same page. I'm just very aware of the time, which is why this has been a bit of a quick whistle example of what it is. But the important thing is, visuals are one of the most beneficial things for all of our residents. We just need to make sure they are individualised and we use them effectively and consistently. And that's what it comes down to. So the PBS plans that I create, I always mention about visuals being created, and now next boards and timetables. This can all be created on here. As I said, I'm only one person. I can do what I can, but I'm not able to change it on a daily basis because I'm not there on a daily basis. You guys know that, and this is something that you as your team, not just you individuals, but that's what your team can work on during the times when when the individual is not engaging, when CJ is not engaging, the staff member can be working on creating these resources for CK, for example. So it is about just using these resources a lot more so across the board, okay? And just one more thing, what a Now Next board is, just in case you are unaware. Now Next board, what the individuals are doing at this moment, what they are doing next. This can be, they are eating their dinner now, Next, they're going to be getting a reward for getting ice cream, for example. So you put picture of dinner on now, next picture of ice cream. Very simple, and it's very structured for the residents that we're working with, because when they know what is expected of them, the behaviours will reduce overall. Okay. As I said, I know it was quite quick, the widget one, but is there any questions that you guys have got of that at this moment in time? No. Okay, that's fine. So, how about questions about the earlier trainings?